Hi everyone, DJ here. Welcome to Lego World. Today, I am talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. If y'all want to know, everyone, the Nintendo Switch 2 is pretty much officially a year later now, which is pretty much crazy to me because this console just came out literally just 2025, and it's literally now a year later, which is pretty much crazy. But I'm not just only talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm mostly talking about the games and pretty much the direct as well. Cause most of all, the recent direct I saw had me very interesting. Not only that had me very interesting, but mostly aside for the Switch 2 edition of a game that should have gotten a Switch 2 edition since last year when the Switch 2 came out. So I can't wait to talk about all of that period today in this video. So I win no time as always. Let's get on to this. So let's go ahead and start off of talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 pretty much, actually had most of its first showing around January of, was it the 21st of 2025 or somewhere like, I think it's probably like almost the end of January, I could pretty much say that. Pretty much the end of January of 2025. And I'll tell you what, it looks really, really different than the Nintendo Switch. Now I know the Nintendo Switch had kind of like different like Nintendo Switches. We had like the Nintendo Switch. There was like a Fortnite one, a Super Smash Bros. One. Most of the ones are first edition. I'm just naming of. The Nintendo Switch Lite. When I first time saw that one was very very tiny by the way, and itself had no Joy Cons actually, which was very interesting. So it just had like Joy Cons like stuck to like the Nintendo Switch, which was kind of very interesting. Then we had the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is probably just mostly like the upgrade from like the Nintendo Switch 2. So when I looked at the screen before of the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm like, oh wait, it just looked like the OLED from the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty much cool. But as I was saying this, when I saw this, I was like, dude, this is probably like one of the most like best selling consoles over like last year, 2025. So they shown off most like some games that most was coming out around last year. Mario Kart World was one of the most hypest ones I pretty much mostly I've seen because I did play what was it, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I can tell you what, that game was really fun. I didn't really mostly play the DLCs, so I'm sorry about that. But I'll probably start getting to that very soon enough, pretty much on the Nintendo Switch 2, because since I do have Mario Kart 8 on, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch 2. But when it came out, everybody was very happy of it, including me. It had like an open world. It had like costumes. You could race around the whole entire literally the whole entire map. It's like it was crazy. I never thought of most of all Mario Kart would actually get like some very very attention from mostly how like it's gonna be changed until they pretty much shown the prices of the game and yeah, that was interesting. The game was pretty much $80, which was remarkably expensive. Now, I like the console itself was like $445, which is like yeah, that's mostly expensive as well. But to be fair, I'm fine with that price because Steam Deck had a price of its own. They were like $343 dollars. But like the Nintendo Switch 2, $445, I'm like, I'm fine with that. But the Nintendo Switch, the Mario Kart World being $8, no, I'm not really fine with that. So pretty much everyone was talking about it. I remember seeing like so many of the live chat was like saying like most like drop the price. Like it was spamming. I was like, wow, people really do not like this. But they show most like the rest of it, and then most of all show some more games that probably come to like the Nintendo Switch 2, like Cyberpunk 2077. I'll get to that very soon enough. But when the console came out, I remember getting mine around September of 2025, and my first impression of it was really good, like really good. Like in most of all the games run like 120 FPS. The the Nintendo eShop looks so much better now and so much faster than the Nintendo Switch. I know they got an update recently around that they have made the Nintendo Switch eShop much faster now, but still, it looks pretty much very better. The game load up faster now. You don't have to pretty much click the thing when they pretty much you had to click on the video and then pretty much had to mostly show that. So that was pretty much good to see. And then most of all, if I put my Nintendo Switch 2 on mostly on the dock and put it on the TV, and it has ADR too, which is interesting, and it ran very well with mostly the games I pretty much played. And speaking of games, that's what I'm gonna pretty much talk about pretty much next. So the next one we're talking about is mostly the games of the Nintendo Switch 2 games. Now, most of them, I think, for most like Nintendo Switch games are pretty much mostly be playable, so which is cool because of course. So I can pretty much start off first. The ones I pretty much have is let's start off with some sports games. Let's start off with was it EA FC 26, or I like to call it FIFA. Now that was the first, well actually most of all, I think it was like the third Nintendo Switch 2 game I got, because the first one I got was actually Mario Kart World, because I got the Mario Kart World bundle with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I also got Street Fighter 6. But let's start off with mostly just EA FC 26. EA FC 26 or FIFA is pretty one of the most very interesting games I've pretty much seen. I mean, I've seen so many raid compilations of that game, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, I've seen a lot of that. Like, I don't know why there's so many people who just really, like, mostly rage at FIFA. It's pretty much soccer, so I don't know why anyone still plays, just crashing out from it. But I played like 4 hours of that game. That game is really, really, like, really fun and mostly very clean as well. Running at 120 FPS with 4K 60 FPS. So, which is very cool. But that game is pretty much nice. I do like how they, mostly, most like how you mostly play with mostly in that game. So that's pretty much nice. Next one is Street Fighter 6. I'm telling you what, I haven't played a Street Fighter game since like literally years. But when I played Street Fighter 6, it was really, really fun. I'm telling you what, it's probably one of the most fun fighting games I ever played. Especially like, between like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it was fun. Like the characters, my what is it called, my World Tour. Oh, sorry, World Tour was pretty much fun as well. People say it run like 30 FPS, which it kind of does, but it looks very clean. And I do really like how most of all they're adding like very new characters, especially like the DLCs. So that's pretty interesting to say. They just had a year 4 just actually not too long ago actually, and most of all people said year 4 it wasn't really not the most best characters what they got, by the way. But actually, what I'm kind of very surprised is that what's her name, Tifa from Final Fantasy. She's literally in this game, and she'll be out pretty much around next year of early of 2027. So she's gonna be like very here like real time soon. So I mean, I know we still got like a few months like left in 2026, but most of all, I can't wait. Especially most of all with Bosch as well for some reason. But still, I like Street Fighter 6. Next one is Mario Kart World. Actually, I won't probably talk all of them because I got a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 games. So I'll talk about mostly just Mario Kart World for the last one. But Mario Kart World, Mario Kart World. But yeah, Mario Kart World is one of the most racing games I pretty much played. I think I put at least a few hours on it. I had a really fun time mostly playing it. I didn't really, kind of like collect all the collectibles because there's like 1,000 collectibles, I believe. Especially like those I don't know if I can call it like a P block. I'll just go call them just mostly just the blocks. And I pretty much love how they pretty did with Mario Kart in general. Getting them costumes, you can explore around the whole entire like world. Like, it's pretty much crazy, especially so many people got mostly the Mario Kart World bundle because that's how the Nintendo Switch 2 sold very well, because they got the whole entire Mario Kart World bundle. So that is pretty much good. So it's literally probably one of the best selling consoles of that year, of mostly of 2025. But I know they kind of like have like a few updates to the game, by the way. I think they kind of like have mostly changed some what was it? Mostly changed like mostly how to you can pick like mostly like some type of like items now, so which is pretty much cool. You can do like in versus race. There's have like this whole type of battle royale as well, which was pretty much fun to play as well. And I have really mostly enjoyed that too. So I know people said that Mario Kart World was supposed to mostly get some DLC. I don't know if we're gonna get DLC for an $80 game. I don't know. For most, I don't know. Maybe when another direct comes in, maybe they'll probably maybe show something for Mario Kart World. Maybe they'll probably have some DLC. So I have no idea. But the last one I want to talk about is the recent direct of mostly this month actually. So if y'all want to know, they had a direct mostly I think just this week, and or it might have been this week or probably last week. What they have was some very interesting games that pretty much coming out, and one game especially I want to pretty much talk about of making this video period tonight is that Minecraft is getting a Switch 2 edition, and I was like, yes, finally, Minecraft finally gets a Switch 2 edition. Except we don't even know what day of it, which kind of like bum hurt me a little bit because I wish they have shown a day of it. I hope it released somewhere around the summer because I'm telling you what, the fact that Minecraft is getting mostly a Switch 2 edition is pretty much really nice because if you want to know, the Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch was kind of like very bad, like really bad. I played it around mostly years ago. I think I played it around like 2019. And I remembered how laggy that game was. Like, I know Nintendo Switch game wasn't really that perfect when Nintendo Switch came out because they were very laggy. And I think the only Nintendo Switch game I can ever think of was pretty good was just Diddy Speedstorm. Because Diddy Speedstorm had not no bugs either, especially how clean it looks, so which is kind of crazy to say. It was probably like the only good game that actually kind of like looked really good, but mostly for Minecraft, not really. I mean, I know people still play Minecraft on the Switch, but now it's finally getting a Switch 2 edition, which I can't wait. So hopefully it'll come around the summer, or might come around somewhere like, maybe somewhere like before, I guess when school start back soon enough. So hopefully they'll start pretty much, doing that. But I'm going to go ahead and off right here. If you guys enjoyed this, try to know what to do. That was my whole entire talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, the games, and the recent direct I want to talk about as well. I know that wasn't really the best talk about I had with a Nintendo Switch console, or should I say Nintendo Switch 2 console, but also they are kind of raising the price as well for the console. It's going to be like $500 now, which is going to start around September 1st. But they did make that if you want to get a Nintendo Switch 2 now, or somewhere pretty much, before the price is raised up, they let you can choose the game where you can pretty much choose Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Pokemon Popokia. So that's pretty much great to they do. So that's kind of like change, kind of like you can get the game mostly with the Nintendo Switch 2. So that's very interesting. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon in the next video. Bye.